What if the smartest human who ever lived never learned to read? Today, we're going to discover why ancient humans may have been far more intelligent than we imagine. Let's travel back 20,000 years. There are no cities, no roads, no electricity, only an unforgiving wilderness where survival depends entirely on skill. Modern life makes survival easy. Ancient humans had no technology, yet they thrived in one of the harshest environments Earth has ever known. Mastering fire transformed humanity forever. It provided warmth, protection, cooked food, and precious hours of light after sunset. Ancient humans noticed details most of us would completely ignore. Every footprint, broken branch, and bird call carried valuable information. These weren't random rocks. Every tool was carefully designed for a specific job, from hunting and skinning to carving wood and preparing food. Long before written language, humans mastered silent communication. A single gesture could coordinate an entire hunting party. Their brains stored enormous mental maps. They remembered rivers, mountains, migration paths, and safe shelters entirely from memory. Every single day required solving life-or-death problems. Every decision demanded planning, experience, and incredible intelligence. They may never have built computers or smartphones, but their intelligence allowed humanity to survive, adapt, and eventually build the world we live in today. Long before weather forecasts existed, ancient humans could predict changing weather simply by observing the sky, the wind, and the behavior of animals. The forest constantly spoke. Silence, unusual bird calls, or frightened animals could warn of predators long before they appeared. Ancient humans memorized hundreds of plants. Some became food, others medicine, while many could be deadly if chosen incorrectly. Instead of waiting for food to appear, ancient people understood seasonal migration and traveled alongside the great herds across enormous distances. Creating a hunting spear required engineering, patience, and precision. Every small mistake could mean failure during the hunt. Success depended on teamwork. Hunting was never about individual strength. It was about planning, communication, and trust. Crossing rivers demanded problem-solving. Ancient families constantly adapted to dangerous environments using creativity instead of technology. Knowledge wasn't written in books. Every survival skill passed directly from one generation to the next through observation and practice. Ancient humans survived freezing temperatures by designing surprisingly advanced shelters that protected entire families through brutal winters. Perhaps intelligence isn't measured by technology. Perhaps true intelligence is the ability to understand the world deeply enough to survive within it. A successful hunt began hours before sunrise. Every tool was checked. Every movement was planned. There was no room for mistakes. To most people, the ground looked ordinary. To ancient hunters, it revealed an entire story written in footprints and broken branches. They didn't simply watch animals. They understood them. Every movement revealed information about predators, weather, and opportunity. Every day became a lesson. Nature itself was their school, and every walk to the forest taught another survival skill. Building shelter required engineering, teamwork, and planning. A poorly built home could mean freezing during the next storm. Fire wasn't only for cooking. It protected families from predators and allowed people to safely live through the dangerous nights. Long before books existed, stories preserved knowledge. Every tale carried lessons that helped future generations survive. Cave paintings were far more than art. They recorded memories, hunting knowledge, beliefs, and perhaps even the earliest form of education. The greatest survival tool wasn't strength. It was cooperation. Working together allowed humans to accomplish what no individual ever could. Modern technology is extraordinary, but it stands on a foundation built by countless generations of intelligent ancient humans who mastered survival through observation, creativity, and cooperation. Every invention began with experimentation. Ancient humans didn't simply use stones. They engineered tools that made survival easier and safer. Failure wasn't the end. Every mistake became a lesson, and every lesson increased the tribe's chance of survival. Finding clean water required observation and experience. Choosing the wrong source could mean illness or even death. Long before modern hospitals, ancient humans relied on generations of knowledge about healing plants and natural medicine. Cooking didn't just improve taste. It made food safer, easy to digest, and helped provide more energy for the growing human brain. The stars became nature's compass. Ancient travelers memorized the night sky to guide long journeys across unfamiliar landscapes. Human history is a story of exploration. Our ancestors crossed mountains, rivers, and frozen plains in search of better lives. Survival depended on protecting one another. Strength came from unity, not from fighting alone. Leadership wasn't about power. The best leaders earned trust by making wise decisions that kept everyone alive. The intelligence of ancient humans didn't disappear. It evolved generation after generation, laying the foundation for every civilization, invention, and scientific discovery that followed. One of humanity's greatest discoveries may have started with simple observation. Seeds that fell to the ground returned as new plants, revealing that nature could be guided. For the first time, humans weren't only searching for food. They were learning how to grow it. Farming slowly changed everything. Instead of following food, people began creating places they could call home. Saving food for the future required planning, teamwork, and discipline. It was one of humanity's earliest investments in tomorrow. Some animals stopped being enemies. Through patience and trust, early humans formed partnerships that would change history forever. Not every meeting ended in battle. Many tribes exchanged ideas, tools, and survival knowledge that helped everyone thrive. Curiosity fueled innovation. Ancient humans constantly searched for better, faster, and safer ways to solve everyday problems. Ancient education happened through watching, practicing, and repeating until every lesson became second nature. No single person possessed every skill. Human success came from combining many talents into one strong community. The story of human intelligence didn't begin in classrooms or laboratories. It began with curious minds that observed nature, solved impossible problems, and passed their knowledge from one generation to the next. Everything we have today is built upon the remarkable intelligence of our ancient ancestors. As the climate changed, survival demanded adaptation. Ancient humans learned to face freezing winters using intelligence instead of strength. Creating warm clothing wasn't simple. Every stitch required patience, precision, and knowledge passed down through generations. The invention of the bone needle allowed clothing to fit better, keeping families warmer and dramatically increasing their chances of survival. Nature constantly offered new opportunities. Ancient humans learned by carefully observing the world around them. Fishing expanded the human diet and provided a reliable source of food throughout the year. Ancient humans didn't fight the seasons. They adapted to them, changing their behavior throughout the year. Music may have started long before written history. Rhythm helped strengthen communities and bring people together. Art wasn't only decoration. It allowed people to share ideas, preserve memories, and express their understanding of the world. The greatest invention wasn't a tool. It was the ability to pass knowledge from one generation to the next. Our ancestors didn't survive because they were the strongest animals on Earth. They survived because they could learn, adapt, cooperate, and teach. Those remarkable abilities made humans the most successful survival specialists the world has ever known. Fire wasn't only used for warmth. Ancient humans discovered it could strengthen tools, making hunting safer and far more effective. Every generation improved the designs of their tools. Small innovations often made the difference between success and failure. Ancient humans constantly searched for easier ways to solve difficult problems. Simple ideas often became revolutionary inventions. Our ancestors crossed landscapes that many modern people would find impossible. Every journey required planning, courage, and teamwork. Without maps or GPS, ancient humans remembered enormous landscapes using natural landmarks stored entirely in memory. Unlike many animals, humans cared for older members of the group. Their experience and knowledge were too valuable to lose. Intelligence wasn't only about hunting. It also meant solving disagreements peacefully to keep the community strong. Trust became one of humanity's greatest survival tools. Every successful hunt depended on believing in one another. Perhaps humanity's greatest advantage wasn't strength or speed. It was imagination. We could picture things that didn't yet exist. Every great invention began as an idea inside someone's mind. The curiosity and imagination of ancient humans continue to shape our world thousands of years later. Fire wasn't only used for warmth. Ancient humans discovered it could strengthen tools, making hunting safer and far more effective. Conversation allowed humans to exchange ideas, solve problems together, and prepare for challenges before they happened. Memory became humanity's greatest library. Every experience could be remembered, shared, and used to make better decisions. Instead of repeating mistakes, humans learned from them. Every failure became valuable knowledge for future generations. Our ancestors didn't simply think about today. They planned weeks and months into the future, a remarkable sign of advanced intelligence. Rivers became natural highways, guiding human migration and providing food, fresh water, and safe travel routes. Eventually, curiosity pushed humans beyond the shoreline. Simple rafts opened entirely new worlds waiting to be explored. Symbols helped preserve ideas beyond spoken words. They marked places, recorded events, and connected generations. Curiosity has always been one of humanity's greatest strengths. Every question inspired another discovery. From the first spoken words to exploring the stars, every achievement traces back to the remarkable intelligence, curiosity, and resilience of our ancient ancestors. Fire wasn't only used for warmth. Ancient humans discovered it could strengthen tools, making hunting safer and far more effective. When food disappeared, panic wasn't the answer. Observation, planning, and teamwork helped ancient families find new opportunities. Sharing resources strengthened relationships. Cooperation often provided greater security than competition. Trade wasn't just about objects. Every exchange also spread new ideas, skills, and innovations across distant communities. One clever invention rarely stayed in one place. Good ideas traveled with people, transforming communities far beyond their birthplace. The smartest communities weren't the strongest. They were the ones that shared knowledge, divided responsibilities, and trusted each other. Every obstacle inspired another solution. Human intelligence grew stronger because every generation faced new challenges. Curiosity pushed humanity forward. Every unexplored valley promised new resources, new discoveries, and new opportunities. The intelligence of our ancestors didn't vanish. Every generation inherited their discoveries and added something new for the future. Our ancient ancestors didn't have smartphones, satellites, or computers, yet their remarkable intelligence allowed them to survive, innovate, teach, and ultimately build a foundation of everything we know today. Progress began with curiosity. Someone always asked, "Can this be done better?" That simple question changed human history. As knowledge improved, shelters became safer, warmer, and more durable, allowing families to survive harsher environments. No single person could master everything. Human success came from specialization and cooperation. Over thousands of years, humans spread across nearly every continent, adapting to completely different climates and landscapes. Nature became humanity's greatest teacher. Every animal offered lessons in survival, engineering, and adaptation. The biggest challenges rarely had individual solutions. Working together allowed humans to overcome obstacles that no one could solve alone. Unlike most animals, humans could deliberately teach complex skills. This ability allowed knowledge to grow instead of starting over with every generation. Each generation inherited the discoveries of the last. Instead of beginning from nothing, humanity continuously built upon its own achievements. The history of humanity isn't simply a story of survival. It's a story of learning, sharing, imagining, and constantly improving together. The next time you see an ancient stone tool, remember this. It wasn't made by someone primitive. It was made by someone intelligent enough to help build the future you live in today. History rarely changes because of one giant breakthrough. It changes because thousands of small discoveries slowly build something extraordinary. Human intelligence didn't appear all at once. Like a tree, it continued growing stronger with every generation that learned something new. Humans were never the fastest, strongest, or largest creatures. Our greatest advantage was the ability to think together. Knowledge became humanity's invisible superpower. Every shared idea made future generations stronger than the last. Every generation dreamed of a better future, even if they couldn't imagine exactly what that future would become. The tools have changed, but the way humans solve problems remain surprisingly similar. Observation, curiosity, and careful thinking still guide discovery. Our story spans thousands of generations, each building upon the achievements of those who came before. If you met one of your ancient ancestors today, would you see someone primitive or someone remarkably intelligent? The same curiosity that helped our ancestors survive still exists inside every one of us today. The greatest inheritance our ancestors left us wasn't gold or monuments. It was the ability to learn, adapt, and keep asking questions. One small spark of curiosity eventually led humanity from campfires to exploring the universe. The intelligence of ancient humans wasn't primitive. It was extraordinary. Their ideas became the foundation of every civilization, every invention, and every discovery that followed. Our ancestors gave us more than survival. They gave us curiosity, creativity, and the drive to keep exploring. The next great discovery could come from anyone, perhaps even from you. If you enjoyed this journey into our ancient past, subscribe for more fascinating stories about human evolution, history, psychology, and the science that shaped our world.